Hey. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Chicagoland Baseball Chronicles. And you know the business. If you woke today, you winning. You winning. We got a good one today. We got a real good one. We got a old school Chicago baseball legend, a brother that I had the pleasure of playing with, against, and watching neutral. My boy, the legend, Mr. Trent Hubbard. What's up, Trent?
What's going on, Bo Rab? What's going on? How you guys doing? All right?
We're doing good, man. Glad to have you, Trent. Thanks for jumping on with us today, man. How's everything going with you?
I'm good, man. Just enjoying this beautiful 81 degrees in Houston, Texas. So but I know Chicago's pretty nice now too. So it's not too bad. It's not too bad, right?
You shoveling snow yesterday, man. I don't know.
You got a story to tell, brother. Hey, man.
Did we lose him?
How you got started, man? Who put that pill in your hand, man?
Oh, John Sharp, man.
How to get started, man?
I don't know if you remember John Sharp, but Coach Sharp, man. When I was 9 years old, man, he put. Man. Are we good?
Yeah, we good. Go ahead. We good.
Yeah. So he put that catcher's mitt on. I'm like, what?
Okay. Well, what park were you at, Trent? What park were you at over on the east side?
No, that was at Eckersall.
Oh,
Eckersall
83rd.
Stadium. 83rd. Right?
Okay.
Right.
Okay. Good stuff. Yeah. Good stuff.
Yeah.
And so that's what you got started.
Yeah, I was 8 years old. I'll never forget. And I could hit a baseball, and none of my teammates could. It was sort of like it was a natural thing to do, right? So It really took off. The love for the game took off right there on the south side of Chicago. So, I had to work hard, but some things came easy for me, and hitting was one of those things.
That's your calling card, right? Hitting that ball, right? That's your calling card. That's what got you out of here.
That's right, man. I tell people all the time, I can't cook, I can't skate, I can't parachute jump, but I can damn hit. I can always hit.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
Hey, coming up on the south side, man. Who are some of the teams that you play with, man? Coming up, man. Who you play with? Tell the people who you played with, man.
Well,
some names.
Andre Hart was one of my big boys over there at Tank. He was swinging the bat like a madman. George Anderson was one of my good buddies. He went to Lindblom, and I went to South Shore. That was when we got a little older.
Absolutely.
But, we had some good players. One of my buddies who passed away after Dick came was with the South Shore Little League Pirates, and he was always good. Tony Martin, little dude, just didn't care about how little he was. He hit it over the fence over there. He just took some big hacks, and I was always like, man, maybe I should take some hacks like that. But I never really was that courageous. I always wanted to be controlled, have that controlled aggression, and it sort of worked out for me. So I went from over there on 83rd and Yates to 75th and Jeffrey. You know what I'm saying? And South Shore Little League. That's where we were. And we didn't have a home run fence. You had to hit it at the gas station.
Right. Right.
Never could quite get there, but every now and then I catch one over that fence. But that was some fun times, man. That was good times, yeah.
How was it in high school? What about your high school career in Chicago?
Yeah, it's a good question right there. So in high school, we only played 12 games. That's the advantage they have in Texas and California and Florida. Like, well, how did I make it to the major leagues playing 12 games in high school?
Yeah.
But it just, I sort of maximized on those games. I mean, one year we were 11-1. That was the year we really had my senior year in high school. And I thought I was a really good player. And I said, maybe I might get a shot going pro out of high school. It didn't happen because not many scouts. As a player, I realized not a lot of scouts like to come to the south side of Chicago. That's how Kirby Puckett got missed and all those, people like that. If you were a really, really good player, Marvin Freeman, I mean, he got missed. He had to go to Jackson State. I went on to Southern University. And, but high school was a fun time for me. But I was a real serious baseball player, It was in my blood.
Absolutely.
I mean, it was in my veins that I wanted to play at Wrigley Field one day, and that was my dream.
Mm-hmm.
And I did. Of course, I
Absolutely.
You
played there.
eventually
Yeah,
did. That's
Absolutely.
well, you ended up closing it out, right, at Wrigley Field.
I sure did. That was my last year
Mhm.
playing the big leagues with the Chicago Cubs, my home team. So
Brought it
it
full
was
circle. Brought it full circle.
brought it full circle. That's a good way of looking at it. Yeah, it was a lot of
Mhm.
fun. You know, when I got called up to the major leagues in '94, Don Baylor, I was with the Rockies, and Don Baylor, you know, he wants everyone early to the ballpark in Wrigley Field, and I said I was going to be there even earlier than everyone because I just wanted to lay on the grass in center field. So I got there
Just
before
soak it up.
everyone. Oh yeah, I just soaked it up, laid in center field, looked at the bank of lights, and said I made it. You know, it was a fun thing to do, and to end up playing there for the Cubs a few years later, several years later, was pretty awesome. So, you know, that's still my favorite ballpark. You know what I'm saying?
So there had to be really a good feeling for you getting called up to the major leagues in '94. That was a long road for you, right? It wasn't no easy road with you with the minor leagues. So when you finally made it, how old were you? 26, 27?
I was 30 years old.
30. Wow.
30.
30.
I spent 9 years in the minor leagues. I was in my ninth minor league season when I got called up. Most people spend 4 years in the minor leagues.
Mm-hmm.
And I was in my ninth season on July
Why was it
4th.
so long for you?
Man,
Why do you think it was so long for you, Trent?
well, you know, it was long.
Talk about it.
But if you want the truth, we talk about biases and why it takes so long. You know, and it just it was. If you see the numbers in black players now, it's down even lower than that. So I might have been in that trending place where it was
Hmm.
going down at that point. You know, I mean, I really learned that if you're a good player in the minor leagues, it shouldn't be that hard to get to the big leagues. I'm not saying it's going to be. I'm not saying it should be easy, but if you put up good numbers, you should get a shot. And some people,
Absolutely.
uh, you know, African American players, man, you're
Absolutely.
talking about the knee on the neck sports for blacks. I mean, even Jackie Robinson said one day he hoped to have those managers, black managers, in the third base coaching box when managers used to coach. But
Absolutely.
as you see, the numbers are going in the wrong direction, and we got to do something about that. But I think that was just I got caught up in some of those uh, uh, machinations that people got to fight for it, and I just had to fight. That's all it is.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But it was well worth it, though, right?
Yeah, because I spent next part of the next 10 seasons in the big leagues. So
Mm-hmm.
from
So you're
nine to
talking
10 in
about
the big leagues.
a 20-year professional baseball career, 9 in the minors,
Here we
10 in
go.
the big
Come on
leagues.
now. Come
That's
on
quite a
back,
career
y'all.
right
Come
there.
on back.
That's quite a career.
We're having technical
Not bad. It was a lot of fun. I appreciate
Was
that.
it?
Yeah, it
Okay.
was a lot of
Okay.
fun. Yeah, it was quite a road, uh, and some of the things I learned. You almost say I wouldn't trade it for the world. Would I wanted a long-term deal? And you know, uh, I was obviously prepared for something else, and I'm good for
Mhm.
that. So,
Okay.
but I did live my dream, and it started right there on the south side of Chicago. So, that's one of the things I'm most proud of is that coming from the south side and having to arrive in the major leagues, competing against the guys from Florida and Arizona and Mexico and Latin America, and and we get 6 weeks of summer in Chicago. You know what I'm saying? I joke about that.
6'8", right around there, 6'8".
Yeah, I had to work hard to get there, and the good thing
Mm-hmm.
is I had a really good start with the people I came up with on the south side. You know, made me tough and made my
Mm-hmm.
skin
Mm-hmm.
thick. And
Mm-hmm.
I was ready for that. I was ready for that drive and that grind. I rise and grind, and I was up for it.
Cool, cool, cool. Trent, before we really get into the MLB thing, man, we want to hear some of those SWAC baseball stories too. I
Oh
know
man,
really tough rivalries going on down there in the SWAC. We heard from a couple Jackson State guys already. So you go from Chicago, you're down in Baton Rouge now doing your thing. What was that adjustment like? Like you say, coming from the South Side, now you're down here in Baton Rouge. Some guys talking funny, talking different. This is just a different environment down there. What was it like down there in Baton Rouge when you step on campus?
Yeah, eating crawfish. I'm like, what is
Eating
that?
crawfish.
Right?
There you go.
But that was quite an experience too to really to develop in a warmer climate in October, November was totally different, right? We're used to walking to school on 75th Street in snow, and now we're able to play baseball in October. And you're right, the culture was a little different, but the food was great, but the baseball
I'm
was
having
really good.
technical difficulties, but everybody can hear you guys, so don't pay me no attention.
We're
Keep it
gonna
rolling, Bill.
Okay.
Keep it rolling.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
working on it on my end, man.
So it's Southern, right? So you're right. You mentioned rivalries with Grambling State
Keep
University,
it rolling.
Jackson State University, and those are the things that make it tough because you see these. Now, the beautiful thing about it was I played at a time where even in the major leagues, I met up with some guys that went to Grambling, and I even played against Ricky Weeks, who went to Southern after I went to Southern. I played long enough to play against him in pro baseball. But Southern is where you get the swag. The swag is where you learn that stiff competition, man. So collegiate baseball was really good, playing against those guys. And then, like, for example, Marvin Freeman, I missed him because he was a little older than me, but we ended up playing on the same team in the big leagues. And we always,
Colorado?
That's Colorado. We brag about the swag, and the swag is a good learning ground, a good way to, get your sea legs, or get your base stealing legs, you know what I'm saying? And, it was good. My coach, though, my head coach, Coach Boyd, is one good reason. He's a Chicago
Coach
guy.
Boyd.
He was the head coach at Southern.
Absolutely.
So, he introduced me to really hard work. And so I was really prepared for the next level because playing at Southern.
He's watching the show.
No, he don't miss nothing, right? Southern, you had to run everywhere. Once you leave the dorm, you had to run about a half a mile to the baseball field. Wasn't no walking. So you learn some really good habits. You learn how to work hard, and I was really prepared thanks to Coach Boyd and Coach Kadar, who came after him, to take on such a daunting task of trying to arrive in the big leagues.
Okay. Sounds good. So you obviously had a good career at Southern. Were you aware that you were on the scouts' radar? Were you aware that you were being checked out as a potential draft choice?
I was. Probably my junior year, they would come see me play, and I remember one game against it might have been Jackson State. I was a little hurt. I went a 3-hour bus ride. I think I was at the game, but my thumb was in a cast. But I told my coach, I said, I think I can play if I just take this damn cast off. So as soon as we left Baton Rouge, I started carving a line through the middle of that vein on the inside of your forearm. And as soon as we arrived, I used a butter knife. And as soon as we arrived at Jackson State, I popped the cast. And my thumb was stiff as hell. I was wrong, but I had to play. And I went deep in that game. A scout, I hit a home run in that game. We won the game. And,
really?
It was pretty cool. It showed me how, my thumb was no longer injured, but it was hurt. So you can't play injured, but you can play hurt. And I learned that from that experience.
Well, tell me this here, Trent. I remember you coming up with us. I'm with Marvin. You came up with us playing with the Panthers right after Kirby Puckett left, and you came up with us. You were back catching, man. You were back catching and on the infield with me.
Faulkner? With Faulkner?
Yeah, you was catching and you was playing with me. Then you got in the outfield. You was on the infield with me. When you first came up with us with Mr. Slaughter and
Mr. Slaughter.
How did you wind up in the outfield?
Well, that's an interesting story. I wound up in the outfield. I was a second baseman. I was drafted by the Astros as a second baseman. But when I became a Colorado Rocky during the free agent signing period for the
Keep it going.
expansion
Don't pay
team,
me no, man.
No, you good.
Having technical difficulties.
We had an injury.
It's gonna pop back.
In AAA, we had an injury in the outfield, and the coach said, "Trinidad, can you play right field?" I said, "Yeah, I can play right field." It was in April. It was early part of the season. Our right field got hurt, So the very next play, I made a diving play on the line, and then I went into the next play. It was like 2 plays later or so. I took a ground ball and threw a guy out at third base trying to go from first to third. So I made 2 plays in 1 inning. It was like, I guess you can play right field. Well, I ended up making the All-Star team as an outfielder, you know, and then before that I was a second baseman. But after that, I never went back to the infield. So, and then I made it, into the major leagues as a center fielder, even though I played around a lot of positions in the big leagues. You know, I was an infielder. Bo Rab, you're right. You're right. I primarily played infield. I caught a little bit. In college, I was an everyday catcher for 2 years.
Yeah, my first 2 years. When you played with us, you were catching with us. When you first came up right out of high school, you were catching with us.
That was my scholarship for. I caught my first 2 years, but when Coach Boyd left and Coach Kadar came out as I was a junior, he said, "Man, you can hit." I mean, my numbers were pretty good in college. My first year, I only struck out 3 times in 300 something at bats, right? So I could hit the baseball.
Oh yeah, you hit it. I know that for a fact.
My third year, thank you. My third year, I moved to third base because my college Kadar thought that I could get drafted as a third baseman. But then he said, my senior year, since I didn't get drafted, he said, let's move you to second base. We think you profile better. Profile is a scouting term. You know, does he fit the profile? Is he a prototypical looking second baseman? And they thought I was, and I got drafted as a second baseman. So that's when the Astros, but then after I got drafted, the next year they drafted Craig Biggio. And every time I moved, they moved him right behind me. So you know, it moved me to second base.
Killer bees.
Yeah, the killer bees. So I played with those guys coming up. Yeah, so it was cool. But I like the infield. I love catching. But outfield seemed to be a real natural place for me to be.
Do you think your versatility, being able to play all over the diamond, helped you have such a long professional career, being able to go in all these different spots to still swing that bat?
Well, you know, it's a great question. I think so. You know, it also gives coaches and those who don't want to bet on you a chance to move it around so much. If you say, "Look, I'm a second base. I'm Robinson Cano. Damn it, I ain't going nowhere." And sometimes you may want to take a stance like that, because the minute you become a utility guy,
it goes both ways.
It goes both ways. Now today's game, they're looking for that type of player. So you know, it does go both ways, but depending on the era, I would say.
Great. Okay. So I know you had one year with the Dodgers where you really had a
Go ahead, Bill.
Bo, I'm sorry. No, I wanted to talk about 1 year that you spent with the Dodgers where you had a really good year. You had about 100 games under your belt. So it sounds like you were in the regular rotation, that squad with Gary Sheffield. Was that a memorable year for you?
Oh, but that was a great year. That was 1999.
99.
Yeah, and you know, the year before I hit 300 for the Dodgers. That was 98, of course, and it looked like things were going to get better. But then they traded for Gary Sheffield. Mike Piazza didn't sign his contract, so we come to Dodger Stadium in 98. It was 98, late 98. Let me see. It was 99. They traded for Gary Sheffield. They traded Mike Piazza to the Marlins, and the Marlins gave up 3 All-Star outfielders.
Wow.
Devon White, Eisenreich, and Sheffield, and all 3 of them played the outfield spots, and it reduced my playing time because Piazza didn't sign his contract, they moved him and get 3 outfielders, and we got Charles Johnson behind the plate. So we got a couple more brothers on the team, but it's less playing time for me.
So they traded Devon White to the Dodgers. Devon White was playing with you and Sheffield?
Devon White, Gary Sheffield, Charles Johnson.
Okay.
Yeah. Thomas Howard. We had a pretty good team.
So that's 5 brothers on the team. It's really rare right now that you would find an MLB team with 5 brothers on the team.
Rare, very rare, you know, and you know, it's just heartbreaking to see, you know, because by population, you would think that there's more black players playing baseball now than, you know, 30 years ago, just by population alone, you know, and I think they're out there. It's just the college scholarships is killing a black player. There's only 11.7 scholarships that they can max out to any D1 school. And you know, you got an inner city kid. You know, if Southern didn't give me a scholarship, you know, like if it was like in today's time, but let's just say University of Texas or LSU did, and they gave me half a scholarship, my mom and dad would still have to come up with $40,000 a year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the
right.
scholarships, they're killing the inner city kid. The lack of scholarship. It used to be better than that, you know. So thank God that I went to Southern and at the right time. Yeah, at the right time. And as far as black players on the Dodgers team, that was fantastic. You know, will it ever happen again? That's a great question. That's a great question.
We'll see. Right. We'll see. We'll see. Trinidad, during your 10-year career, did you ever get a chance to experience any postseason action?
I did. And that was in 1995. We played the Braves in the playoffs. Yeah, we played the Braves in the playoffs. And
the Braves,
we lost in 4. Yeah, we should have won the first 3 games at Coors Field. We should have won those games. We were always ahead, but the Braves always had some sort of magic with you know, Marquise Grissom and you know, Greg Maddux, Smokes Glavine, all those guys were, you know, just really
absolutely
good. And we had to face them at Coors Field, and we ended up winning one of those 3 games, and we lost the 4th game at Turner, not Turner Field. It was Fulton County Stadium. Yeah. And so that was fun. I did, you know, manage to get a couple at bats in there. You know, Don Baylor was my manager. So he was one of those old school guys. He really liked to stick with those, you know, older veterans, you know, and, you know, the Larry Walkers, the Vinny Castillas, the Dante Bichettes, the Ellis Burks, you know. We had a pretty good team. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Hey, how was it playing in Wrigley Field, man? You know, either playing with the Cubs or against. How was that feeling, brother? Just playing in Wrigley.
It was magical. I mean, it may be the highlight of my career, because as an 8, 9, 10-year-old, I used to watch, you know, Ernie Banks and those guys on that same field, and I would see Leon Durham on that same field, and I would see, you know, Jose Cardinal on that same field, you know, Jerry Morales on that same field. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I knew all the Cubs, man. Larry Bittner. Come on, man. Larry Bittner, left-handed pinch hitting extraordinaire. Dave Kingman. So I was a Cubs fan, you know. So to play in Wrigley
know you
Field,
were. That's why I said
you know.
That's why I said
I always cried when I walked in. You know, I always got misty-eyed when I walked into the clubhouse and onto the field, you know. It was a beautiful experience. And then I had a couple home runs there, too, so that was really nice. You know, when my mother was there.
I saw. Oh, that was the bomb. I saw it.
No, playing at Wrigley was a magical time for me. It's every kid's dream. I mean, you know, I'm sure the little kids in Boston want to play in Fenway. Right, and you know, the kids in New York want to play in Yankee Stadium, and me as a Chicago guy, to hell with Comiskey Park. I want to go to Wrigley.
Go to the north side.
I'm going to the north side.
I heard that. You know, I'm a Yankees and Sox fans. You played in all those parks. You played in Comiskey also, man.
I did.
Yeah,
I did.
Full circle.
It was a fun time too, man. I mean, just to come home, you know, to come home and have a hotel downtown. But drive on Lakeshore Drive all the way down to Southside to 73rd. Oh, I'm sorry, 77th Saginaw, where my mama lived. You know, that was just great. You know, I didn't sleep in a hotel. I slept at home. You know, in my mama's house. You know, I love that.
Hey, I know you did. That's for sure, man. That's for sure. Man. Hey, talk about you played in Mexico, man. How was that, man? How was that? You're a legend over there too now. You know, I know.
Oh, claro que sí, mi amigo. Gracias por. Hey, mi español está perfecto. Yeah, I came fluent Spanish down there, so you know, but
you know, I know.
Yeah. Mazatlan, Mexico was where I played, and also played in a place called Hermosillo. It's just close to Tucson, about 4 hours south. But we were champions there every time I played there. I played for, you know, 2 championship teams down there. Yeah. And so they had me on a billboard on a wall one time. My earring was the size of a Volkswagen. I'm like, yeah, I kind of like that, but it was fun. In Mexico, they appreciate hard work. You don't play for the money.
Yeah,
You play for the flag and you play for the love of the game, and they treat
I
you
heard
with
that.
amazing respect. And I think that's what had us going down to Mexico, Latin America, because they really appreciated, that hustle game, that hard game that you represented, that team, that name on the front. And most of the time here in the United States, it's more about the name on the back. It's too bad to say until you get to the right situation. You know, it wasn't for the money in Mexico or Puerto Rico or Venezuela or Dominican. I played in all of those. I played 15 seasons down there, and I loved every minute of it.
Wow. Wow. How old were you when you stopped? How old were you, Trent, when you quit?
I was
40,
42.
41, 42.
Yeah, I played another year, 2006. I stopped in Latin America, and that was it for me. I was good then. And then I went on to become a coordinator with the Rockies for 6 years.
I told y'all he's a legend for real, y'all. This is a legend. Trent is a legend. He's the legend for real. I told y'all.
You were a scout for the Rockies, Trent?
I was a coordinator. I was
Okay,
player development. So I just helped train guys like Charlie Blackmon and Nolan Arenado and those superstars right now. Dexter Fowler was one of my players. It was just a fun time to just to give the knowledge that I've gained. I had some good coaches. I had King Griffey Sr. as a coach. I was in a batting cage in 97. I spent time in the batting cage. 96 with Barry Bonds every day. So that knowledge that I got from Barry Bonds and Bobby Bonds, can't hold on to it. You gotta share it. Otherwise, why have it? Right?
Absolutely.
So I know you had the benefit
for real.
I know you had the benefit Trent playing for a lot of different MLB teams. Would you consider the Rockies sort of like so you got the jersey in the back? Is the Rockies, is that sort of like a home team for you, or you have good feelings towards the Rockies? I know you played postseason with the Rockies, and you say you were a coordinator with them.
They gave me my first chance in the big leagues. They gave me my first.
They drafted you too. Mm-hmm.
Well, no, I got drafted by the Houston Astros, but
I got drafted by the Astros.
Yeah, but in July 4th, 1994, after a minor league game in Tacoma, they called me to the office in Colorado Springs, and I just had a little sliding injury, in Tacoma. The flight back was uncomfortable from Tacoma, but they wanted to make sure I was healthy. That 4th of July, and for some reason, we were early at the ballpark, and he said, "How's that injury, man? They want to know." I said, "Who want to know?" I said, "They want to know. You're going to the major leagues tomorrow." And that was in my 9th minor league season, and it was a beautiful feeling. I was healthy, of course. My motto: if it ain't broke, we go, right? So,
that's right.
And
that's right.
And so the Rockies, after 9 seasons, during my 9th minor league season, they gave me a chance.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted. That's the team that I really appreciate. Allow me to end that grind in the minor leagues. Those long bus rides, from 11-hour bus rides to 3 in the morning, 3 a.m. wake up calls in Vancouver, British Columbia, flying out at 6 and flying to Sacramento or whatever. But I love it. And there's no complaints.
Wow.
But they gave me my shot. So the jersey's up because I just have an affection for them for helping me crack that code.
Yeah. So in a 9-year minor league baseball career, I know it had to be some tough days. Did you ever think about maybe it's not going to work for me? Maybe I'm not going to see that MLB. What kind of kept you going through that minor league experience?
Yeah, not one day did I ever think about quitting. Oh,
really?
No,
really?
Yeah, because my numbers were telling me that I could play.
Okay.
The performance, the performance, and the 6 All-Star teams, and the 7 MVPs and all these things, and these AAA rings. I got 4 or 5 of them, and I was a contributing factor to these teams. I didn't do it by myself, but I was
Right.
I made an impact, you know, and it was
Absolutely.
in data science they have this thing right now called the positive feedback loop, you know, and my data was telling me that you're doing exactly what you're supposed to do. Someone's going to appreciate it, and you'll get your shot.
Absolutely.
And quitting was never an
Hey,
option.
Trent.
It would never enter my mind.
Never an option.
Hey, Trent. I want to talk a little bit, just briefly. When you were playing the Astros system, you was playing with some bad boys. When you first got there, it was some bad boys there.
Yeah.
And
they were good.
Let these people know who you were playing with. Let them know.
Yeah, Eric. Yeah. Well, when I first came up, you know, Kevin Bass was here, Glenn Davis. I was in minor leagues, you know, and I was in big league camp. I'm thinking I'm gonna make the team. My first year in minor league, you know, my second year in the minor league. I didn't know nothing about people already under contract, and this guy's in front of you. He's on a 3-year deal, Bill Doran, you know, and you know you got Craig Biggio coming, but we had King Camadetti was at third base. I played with him. You know, Gerald Young, who could fly center fielder.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, man. And
Bagwell was Bagwell.
Bagwell was, you know, just an incredible player. You know, so we had a pretty good team. Yeah, you had the Bees over here, but at that time, I believe I had gone on to the Dodgers. But coming up, you're right. When it comes to Kim Camanetti, you know, Tony Eusebio behind the plate, you know, Bill Dorn at second base, Glenn Davis at first base. And you had some players, and then you had.
I kept up with you.
Oh, I appreciate that. Thank you so very much. It was, you know, I learned from some of the best, and you know, in baseball, you just can't be on the field and learn. You got to listen, you got to talk, and you got to work it out. You know what I'm saying, and try some things.
Absolutely.
You know, and when like I said, when I was with '96, when I got traded to the Giants, you know, I was going to look at Barry Bonds. I'm looking at his feet, how he's got in the box, and what makes him great. I wasn't going to miss the chance to get something. Yeah.
Trent, so what's your connection to the game now? Are you still a fan of the game? Are you involved in baseball on any level? What's your connection to the game now after such a long career?
That's a great question. I stopped being a coordinator with the Atlanta Braves at the end of 2016. I was with the Braves, and I coached guys like Ronald Acuna, Albies, you know, all these guys. You know, I don't know if I helped them, but I certainly didn't mess them up because they all became all-stars. You know, but after that, I got involved with MLB free agent spring training. We conducted spring training in 2018. This is all majority brothers, you know, myself, King Griffey Jr., Brian Jordan. It was just a ton of Chris Chambliss was down there. We conducted a camp for spring training free agents to keep them ready in 2008. So I connect to MLB, the Players Association. So we do events every year.
Okay.
Yeah. But right now I'm training my son. You know, he got drafted by the Washington Nationals. So we have to get him right for spring training.
Oh, wow. Okay. Wow, I didn't know that.
How old is
know that.
Jaden's 24. He got his degree in economics from Texas State University, same place where Paul Goldschmidt went to school, and so he's about to head out to camp in a couple of weeks, and COVID took a year from all those guys, so he's gonna have to put his foot on the gas. You know, if I can make it to the big leagues at 30, he can do it a lot sooner than that.
What position does he play? Trey, give us a scouting report on him. Give us a scouting report on your son.
Oh, yeah, he's better hitter than I was, better arm. Yeah, at this age, he's much better than I was. He just got to get the opportunity.
Is he taller?
He can hit. Yeah. He's just a little bit under 6 feet 5'11", and has a powerful arm. Can run. He's training right now with an Olympic trainer here in Houston, 2-time Olympian Eric Thomas, who was twice the fastest guy in the country. One of Carl Lewis's proteges. Okay. So I got him training on speed and strength and conditioning, and so he's getting ready. We taking it very seriously so he can live his dream. Getting drafted was the first part of that. Good. Yeah. So hopefully he can get playing Wrigley Field too Sunday soon.
Hey, I got one more thing for you too. I want to give you a chance to tell the people about Game Face. Talk about Game Face. Tell them about Game Face, man.
Well,
put it out there.
Yeah. Well, Game Face is my sports apparel company that I created from 9 years in the minor leagues. And it was just one of the things I did a self-talking to myself when I didn't have good games. I would say, just, keep your game face on, put it on. And from there, I created an apparel line. And we got investors, and before you know it, we were selling product in Busch Stadium in St. Louis and Coors Field, and we sent some product to the Cubs and to the Mets. Mm-hmm. And Game Face is a sports apparel brand, but it's more of a lifestyle brand because everyone has to put your game face on at some point, at some moment.
No matter what you're doing, no matter what you're doing,
what you're fighting for. So our website is www.gamefaceusa.com. You can see we're relaunching some new collection. We're slowly loading up our website. If you like something, go ahead and get it. We know you're going to be happy with it. But Game Faces is not about Michael Jordan and Nike and I want to be like Mike. It's about what you fight for in your life. What are you fighting for? You can do this. It's inside you. Wake up your greatness. Put your Game Face on. That's what Game Face is all about.
Hit us with that website again, Trent.
That's GameFaceUSA.com.
Outstanding.
Y'all heard that now. Check it out. This is Chicago legend. Support this brother, y'all. Support him. Hey, Trent, this been a good one, man. I'm gonna have to. We want to come back and get you if possible, man. Come back and be a guest with us, man.
I'd love to. It would be my
collaborate with somebody, with Marvin or somebody, or Coach Boyd.
That's what I'm saying. Maybe we can get Coach Boyd or Marvin Freeman on. It'll be cool to have a couple guys on. But no, you can always count on me. I really appreciate you guys thinking about a little old guy from the south side who ended up living his
legend,
dream.
dude. Absolutely. You a legend, man. You are a legend. And it's been a pleasure having you for me and Bill. And I guess we can sign it on out because we get some bad connections, but everything was good on it. And like I said, we love you here in Chicago, Trent. Thank you for everyone. And people out there, press the subscribe button, man. Press the subscribe button. Chicagoland Baseball Chronicles. And hey, it's been a good one. We got Trent Hubbard in the house, y'all. Bill, we got Bill Haley.
All right, Bill. Thank you, buddy.
It's been a good one, y'all. Stay on for a minute.
Absolutely. Best of luck with your son, bro.
Oh, I appreciate that. Thank you.
Okay.
All right.